Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Buckeye fan of all ages, the Ohio podcast probably brings to you the Buckeye Lounge. I'm your host, the Schrock Star, Shaun Schrock. With me, as always, my co-host, the Wolverine Slayer herself, TG. And tonight we have a very special guest, a former Buckeye great, member of the great 96 defense that was awesome. One of my favorite teams of all time. Rose Bowl champion, Big Ten champion, former NFL player, OSU great, Mr. Winfield Garnett. Winfield, thank you for coming on the show.
No, pleased to be here. Pleased to be here.
Oh, Winfield, maybe we got some younger people that carry on with that watch our show, younger fans. We like to educate them on the former players. So, if you could give a quick rundown when you what years you played and how you became a Buckeye.
I graduated high school in 1994 from Chicago, Illinois. Really didn't know much of. I mean, I knew about Ohio State, but I didn't know much about Ohio, and I just had a different impression of Ohio in my mind. It was just cornfields and country and all of these things. So, but I really liked the coaches. So when I came to visit, I was just so shocked that Columbus was like a city, right? It was even more of a city than most college towns. It was, much more metropolitan than most college towns. So that's what really, like sold it for me was the fact that it just shocked me how big the city was and all the things around it, and I just loved it. So I became a Buckeye.
Did you have any other schools that you were considering? I mean, was there a second? Was there another team that was really, really close?
Um, I mean, I pretty much could have went anywhere I wanted. Some of the so when I came out in Chicago, I was all state on offensive line and defensive line. Um, and I won All American team, but I just wanted to play defense really bad. So a lot of the teams that wanted me to play offensive line, which really I should have, but I just was so stubborn that I wanted to be a defensive lineman. So the Notre Dames and the Michigans and a lot of the bigger name schools wanted me to play offense. So I just ruled all of those out. Whoever didn't say I could play defense, they just got cut. So I ended up being between Ohio State, Michigan State, and Illinois because they said just come here and you can play whatever you want.
Now you did play some offense though.
I
You got
started off playing offense, and they gave me number 68, so that tells you what they really wanted me to do. I didn't particularly like the offensive line coach when we first got here, and I just wanted to be the next Reggie White. I just wanted to play defense so bad. If things, I almost ended up playing offense, and I probably would have had a longer career in the NFL if I did. But I ended up being a D lineman. So I mean, I had success. I loved it. But my size, especially in that era, was definitely, I was, 6'6", 320, 310. On paper, I was offensive lineman.
I mean, people forget back then there wasn't many 300 pounders back then. I mean, not
Yeah,
like
our class, that class that we brought in, I think it was the largest ever at that time. We had 4 or 5 300 pounders. Me and Orlando were the biggest. He's about an inch taller than me. And yeah, we had a lot of 300. But being a 300 pounder coming out of high school then was like a big deal. Like it wasn't normal. It was crazy to be that size coming out. So, but yeah, I've been 300 pounds since I was 15 years old. So it was nothing.
Did you ever have a welcome to college football moment while you were at Ohio State?
My welcome to college football moment was my college coach. And he was super strict, super like militant, and just the level of conditioning and the practice tempo was more than just like something that happened on the field. Coach Kennedy was a strength coach and running 25 and 31 teams and things I literally thought was humanly impossible. Um, that was my welcome to college, was just the level of training, running, and conditioning more than like the play.
Okay, who was the biggest influence on you during your early years at Ohio State?
Well, another one of the biggest reasons I came here was because of Dan Wilkerson.
Big Daddy.
and he was a 300-pound defensive lineman that ended up being the first pick in the draft. So I knew that they played linemen of that size. So, I was trying to follow his footsteps coming in. The year he came in, the year he went first pick was my year of graduating high school. So my freshman year was his rookie year in the NFL.
And,
Awesome.
that defense you guys had your senior year, 96, man. Oh, it was your junior year, my bad. Um, Man, you guys were loaded on every level. I mean, you kind of, you know, Vrabel and Finkus always get the publicity, and you were kind of the unsung hero of that group. Who was probably the best athlete out of all four of you?
The best athlete,
Yeah,
Vrabel.
Vrabel.
Vrabel. We were Matt was just like super like quick. He didn't look fabulous for like a defensive end. He didn't have big muscles. He was just crafty and quick and just very smart. Vrabel was probably the best athlete. Luke was undersized but like a super tough guy. You know, high school undefeated national champion wrestler. Just
Mhm.
played with leverage, and I was just like raw strength and power. You know, I was just I was probably the second best athlete on the team for my size behind Orlando Pace. Um, but we were all different, but it's just like athleticism in the word itself was Vrabel.
Nice. What
Nice.
What was it like going against Orlando? Did you have to go against them much in practice?
Oh, they put us against each other all the time. We always still.
Mhm.
He played tackle. I was inside.
Mhm.
So, but the drills,
One on ones.
one on ones, how you start the season and the board drills when they put you against each other and all that. We did all that early in our career. We had a rivalry of who was faster, who was stronger, who was that type of stuff. But again, he was a tackle. I was an interior guy, so I didn't go against him on a regular basis. But you know,
Did
um,
Did you
I
line
say,
up? I'm sorry. Did you line up more over the center?
well, actually, I played the three technique, and Luke played the nose, which is
Okay.
normally different. The bigger guy usually plays um,
The nose.
nose, but I was athletic, I was big, and I ended up being a three, and he ended up being a nose. My first 3 years, Vrabel was like the wide side end, and Fickle was and Finkus was the strong side end. But that's how we did it back then.
Um, what was it like putting on the scarlet and gray for the first time?
Um, I don't think I had I didn't grow up like wanting to be a Buckeye. Like, oh, this is the greatest. I grew up watching Notre Dame in Chicago. We really watched Notre Dame in Illinois. Illinois wasn't ever that great, so most people from Chicago are really like Notre Dame fans. Um, but I just love once I got here, I liked it a lot. I didn't really understand the Michigan Ohio State passion before I got here. I had to learn that when I got here. I didn't grow up with it though, so I don't want to pretend like I grew up with that. And it wasn't Ohio State was Ohio State, but it wasn't even the brand it is today is unbelievable. I think our group, the '90s, took it to that. We started to make them like so popular. And Andy Kastner and all these people, we started making it become this super popular brand it is today, even though they were a great legendary blue blood program. But we brought in and Nike came in while we were there and all these different things that like took it to another popularity level. But I wanted to beat Michigan because Michigan and Notre Dame was the rivalry I knew about more. And when I got here, I just learned about the Ohio State rivalry, and I loved it. I love anything that's fighting against somebody else. So that's
Hey,
my
here's what I will say: Notre Dame and Ohio State are common allies against Michigan. Like, if there's one thing you need to know about the Ohio State Michigan
right.
rivalry, is that both these schools hate Michigan more than they hate each other.
Correct.
They really do, and that's why I'm like, ooh, if you didn't know that rivalry, and I'm one of those very few Chicago people because there are some people in Chicago that do watch Ohio State. I'm one of the very few, so.
Are you from Chicago?
Yeah, I'm from Chicago.
Oh, okay. What high school did you go to?
I went to a high school that actually came around, what was it, like 2015, 2016, called Butler College Prep.
Okay.
They're really good. They're a really good high school. Anybody who in the area of Chicago, you want your kid to go over there, you can, because they're really good at what they do.
Cool.
Yeah. How would you describe the culture of the locker room in your own words?
We had a great locker room. Oh, jokes for days. Um, just cracking and just, I mean, savagely cracking on each other. Um, I don't think we were that cliquish, like Orlando hung with all little dudes, people hung with each other, different positions, hung with different positions. I think we had a real good team camaraderie and stuff like that. Yeah.
I mean, you can kind of tell in that '96 year. I mean, after you guys dropped that to Michigan and you went to the Rose Bowl, I mean, you guys could have frowned upon that, and you guys, you know, instead of going down, you guys pulled together and you ended up being the Rose Bowl champions against a very great Arizona State team. If they would have beat you guys, they would have been the national champions.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Urban and Tressel and now Ryan, they beat Michigan, right? Michigan probably knocked us out of two national
Mm-hmm.
championships, 95 and 96. Even when they were like they weren't even 90. Yeah, they won a national championship my senior year, but the previous years they would be like 7 win, 8 wins, and beat us, right? So
Yeah.
their whole glory was a moral victory of knocking us out of winning or competing for a national. It was voted on half the time back then, but
Yeah.
Ooh.
so
You know,
I only won one Michigan game. And that they did knock us out of the opportunity to probably be a national championship in 95 and 96.
it's super funny when you kind of bring it up. When was your what was your senior year? Was it 97?
My senior year, 97, 98.
Oh, so like when they shared the national title with Nebraska, even though they absolutely should not have even shared it, I think Nebraska was the clear cut. But no, you got these media morons who want to act like as if this team was great. Like, no.
Yeah. I thought Penn State team was the best. The best team I ever played at Ohio State to me was that Penn State team my freshman year, and they
Yeah.
went
Oh,
undefeated.
Nebraska. I think Penn State and Nebraska were two of the best teams. But if you ask me,
Oh,
I think
Nebraska
Nebraska.
was great. I just didn't play against them. But yeah,
Yeah,
Tommy
you didn't
Frazier
play.
and Lawrence Phillips. Yeah, Lawrence Phillips. I played with him in NFL Europe. He was unbelievably talented. It
Oh
was
Tommy
yeah.
Frazier, that team that they had was crazy in Nebraska. But that
yeah,
Penn State team, man, that was the one. Was that the one with Jacana Carter,
yeah.
Kerry Collins?
Gary Collins, two
Yeah,
first
yeah. I think
round
that
picks.
team was really, really good. But it's
Yeah,
like for that Nebraska team was just better. Like you watch that Nebraska team, they were just better. You could tell. They were
well,
different.
the Penn State team was 95,
Yeah,
94.
yeah.
They
So
were they were good.
they
All those
were.
dudes.
Oh yeah.
I think both their offensive linemen went first down, receiver went first round, the running back went first pick, the quarterback went top. Like they were loaded, loaded, loaded,
Mm-hmm.
and they beat us pretty bad my
OJ
freshman.
McDuffie, man, that dude could fly. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that dude was
But
sick.
Nebraska, I only saw them on TV, and they were just that was the most. That was Alabama during that era. That was the
Yeah,
most dominant program at the time.
Yeah, I mean, and when you talk about like that was Michigan's moral victory, like beating you guys, preventing you from winning the national title. You fast forward to the 12-team playoff now, and it's like their only moral victory now is just beating us. Like if we go on, like because we went on a run after they beat us and won the Natty, and then everybody just got up in arms and we're so happy because it's like you forget the loss, now you won the Natty, and it's like I take the Natty, give me the
Oh
Natty.
yeah, I mean you'll take a natty over anything. That's what goes down in history.
yeah.
They like
Mhm.
to cry about it, but we also had the hardest road to win a natty.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that was the other thing.
So
Is like
we
when
had to
you
take all the top seeds. It was very difficult. We had the hardest road out of all the teams to actually get to the national championship and win it. So I don't,
oh yeah.
Michigan fans are gonna say what they're gonna say.
Oh no, that's their moral victory now. It's just the fact that you get to like just win. Like if you're being honest with
But
yourself,
they
you got
did win one the year before, so it's not like
well, we all know
they did.
the
Yeah,
little
yeah,
inquiries behind
Yeah.
that. So like, I wouldn't go that
right.
far. Like it ain't legitimate. It's not respectable. Like I'm not giving them no credit for that. Sorry, you don't deserve none. Sorry, y'all. Don't care how you feel. Don't care what the morons up in NCAA say. Like, you don't deserve respect for that. I'm sorry. You did it in the dirtiest way possible. Which is why no one will ever respect it, and no one will ever respect you the way they respect Ohio State. And that's what makes them even more mad. It's like, look, you won yours, but no one respects yours like they respect your rivals. And it's because your rivals, unlike you, didn't do it dirty.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
How many natties do you think Cooper would have won if they would have had that 12-team playoff format, or even the 4-team playoff? I mean, because he finished second twice, and I think third maybe another time.
95 we had Eddie and Terry Glenn, but we lost bowl games too. I mean, I don't know. We had those teams were just as talented as these teams are now. That's getting all these. We have many first round draft picks and all of that. You never know how the playoffs would have went. But the Michigan game kind of like that was a good thing about the Rose Bowl. Usually after we lost to Michigan, everybody act like they died around here.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to get the players juiced back up for the bowl game. And in the Rose Bowl game, we actually played like we were supposed to play, right? Instead of still being depressed about the Michigan game, because normally when we lost the Michigan game, we went to the second place SEC game, the Citrus Bowl, and we just were like, who cares, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that the game that year was the Rose Bowl, right? So that's what made us still have that juice and still want to like really, really win that, because the Rose Bowl at that time was still the most prestigious bowl game to win. So, but yeah, I think if we'd have gotten the playoffs and we still could have gone for a national championship, I definitely think we would have competed. And those us, Nebraska, Florida was really good with Spurrier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd been good to play against those teams.
I think with Cooper, I think how it would win is kind of similar to Ryan Day, where you guys where the locker room would rally instead of disperse, because it's like you still got a chance to win a natty. I think that's how it would have went, in my opinion.
That's a big deal when that's what the difference was that Rose Bowl. We still had a chance to win something prestigious, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. And for everybody who will be watching this video,
it was good, but it wasn't going to get us any acclaim that we really were excited about. So.
Yeah, I mean, the Rose Bowl is still prestigious because it's legendary. For anybody watching this, if you keep seeing me doing this, it's because I'm back at my childhood home, and you already know what's happening here. I ain't got to explain it. Y'all know what's happening. I've been up in here. Yeah, it's been that day. It's like, oh my God. And it was so much worse when I came back, too, because when I left, it wasn't as bad. When I got home, it's worse. It's so much worse. I'm like, so I had to do spray, be the exterminator in the house. Like, my God. I'm like, I'll leave. And it's like, where are y'all coming from now? Oh my God.
Now, Winfield, who was the toughest opponent you ever played? Say college and in the pros.
Are you talking about a team?
A team and a player that you went against.
I don't know about the tough. I don't consider Michigan the toughest. We just never played well against them.
The offense couldn't score that.
Yeah, it's just something. Sean Springs slipped. This happened. It's like I don't know. We just I don't think our coaches were just something about it. We didn't handle it the right way. We didn't prepare the right way, and we didn't get the right results. The most physical team we ever played every year was Wisconsin. But Penn State was always really, really good back then. I don't have one team that was tough. To me, Wisconsin was the hardest atmosphere because you knew it wasn't going to be a fun game. You weren't going to be able to pass rush much. You're going to get double teamed every play. The fans going to be throwing nickels and marshmallows with pennies in them at your head, and they got hyped with the song. Like that stadium is crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Clinton said his dad almost got in a fight there.
Yeah, that stadium is crazy, and even when you win, your body feels like you lost. Right? It's just like they had Ron Dane. They always had a big giant back. It was just like bully ball, and we never lost to them, but that game there, you had to buckle your chin straps. And it probably would have been the same way with a Nebraska, right? Option, downhill, double teams. I'm talking as a D lineman, but
sure.
It just was like a grunt game, just physical, snot bubble type games. Those were the most physical games to me. So
Barry Alvarez, man, that was his thing, man. He was a tough-nosed coach, and they were going to run the ball down your throat, and they were always going to have those big
I mean, they
linemen.
had 280-pound tight ends.
Yeah.
Just like what's
I
going on?
mean,
They
that
had a
was
400-pound
Wisconsin
tight
for a
end.
long time, bro. That was Wisconsin for a very long time, even
Very long.
after the fact.
I bet they take those days back right now.
Oh, heck yeah, they
Oh,
would. Poor
they would.
Fitz, man. Poor Fickle, man.
Not like we talked about it with Fickle. It's like, no, you shouldn't have changed the identity. Like, if you wanted to add air raid to it, that makes sense. If you want to add to it, add to the identity. Don't try to redo it all the way. Like, just start with what the team is known for with their identity, then build on top of it. Like what Ryan Day did. He started with what we did. Now, the only reason he changed the way we did things is because of how the defense was. And the run game wasn't great because we had so many injuries to our running backs to a point where we had to outscore our opponents because the defense was terrible and our running back room couldn't stay healthy. Now, once we got to a point where we had the offense, like we actually had our running backs were staying healthy, we actually built the defense up to a point where now we don't have to play this. We got to outscore everybody. Now you see how the offense is going back to how they used to be, which is like being this more balanced offense where you can control the clock and run the ball and run it with perfection, but you can also now pass the ball because you got the quarterbacks to do it, you got the receivers. That's always been part of Ohio State's identity. It's just that we didn't always have the quarterback play to do it. Now we do. So it's like we could be pretty much more of this balanced team while also keep carrying the identity Ohio State has always had. If anything, Ryan Day's expanded on the identity of this team more than anything. He's remade the identity of the defense. He got the defense back to how it used to be. And like I said, with the offense, he's evolved the identity. Like he's brought it back to where it was, and now he's evolved it beyond that. So that's what you're
Well,
supposed to
yeah, I mean, well, this is the best defense. The first game I said this is like our defense. This is the
Mm-hmm.
most
do. Mm-hmm.
violent, fast, like run to the ball. It's the best defense I've seen at Ohio
Yes.
State in quite some time. Offensively, I just think they just getting better and better. Everybody is, for years we never had like these prestigious first round quarterbacks, and then we went on a run and
Dwayne Haskins,
we got
Justin Fields,
spoiled,
CJ
right?
Stroud.
We got spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
And like the quarterback, last year he was a good quarterback, right? But if you don't have a first round pick around here, now you trash. It's just crazy.
He wasn't trash. Like
Awesome.
a lot of people are like they were kind of surprised that Will didn't even become a second rounder because it's like
Yeah,
when you look at the
but they
season, he's
dogged
bad.
them the whole
Yeah.
year. They dogged them the whole year. They dogged C.J. Stroud the first 4 games of the season.
I mean, that's what they're gonna do because Ohio
No,
State fans are
I
so
don't like
spoiled.
that
I
stuff.
don't
No,
either.
I don't like that either. But you
We're
know
some
how this
spoiled
fan base
brats, and
is.
2 games ago they was dog insane, right? The kid's the first time starter. It's just recency bias, right? Because
Yeah, I can
the first
understand
two
it.
games they whine and complain because he didn't come out on fire, and it's the first time. He's basically a freshman, right? Reg, whatever
Exactly.
he is.
Yeah,
So
basically.
it just takes time. The running backs are young, the quarterback is young, but the line is very, very good. The receivers are very, very good. They relied on the defense, and I think the offense now is building in the confidence and the game last week, they smacking people that they're better than, but that's what you're supposed to do, right? When
Yeah.
somebody's
Well, the
not
reality is when you think about it with Sands' first game, it's like they were like, this defense is really good. Even though when you look at it, Ohio State absolutely could have continued cutting up that defense, but they decided, hey, we're gonna put in a game plan to protect Sand, but we're just gonna rely on this defense
and
and we're
Texas's
just
defense is really, really good.
oh yeah,
Oh
they
yeah,
So
it's
are.
no slouch.
their offense is their problem. So
Yeah.
I
Oh
thought
yeah,
it
but
was
that's
good
the thing too.
football. Now, that's the
That's
thing
the
in
thing.
this era because of fantasy and all that. If you're not scoring 40, I love a good defensive
I
21.
think it's because fans are so used to how Ryan Day had ran his
Yeah.
offense to a point where it's like, oh, you're not used to like you're used to how he's ran his offense, scoring like 40 something, like being like running up the score. But you tend to forget he had to do that because of how bad the defense was. And again, our run game wasn't great because our running backs kept getting injured. So he had to pretty much start lighting up the scoreboard. And when you look at the defense this year, like last year's defense was an all-time great defense, and this defense might be better than last year's. And the biggest
I
reason
think
is
it
because
is.
in my opinion, I believe it
I
is. Now
think
I
it
still want to
is.
see how it plays
Yeah.
out for the rest of the season, but I believe it is. I really do. Because when you look at last year's and you look at how like the Buckeye players of last year's team compare it to this year, they're like, we can play so much more faster and aggressive because we don't have to think too much. Like in Matt Patricia's defense, we are able to we can read and then react without doing all the thinking. And not only that, but
I don't know if it's a thinking because honestly,
I noticed it's the
driving
thinking.
coverages and putting in more stuff. You don't know what front we'll be in.
Well, Sonny Styles brought it up. He says he's more like a drill sergeant. Like he's been going in on the Downs and Down to Business podcast by the Downs brothers, Caleb Downs and his brother.
Yeah.
Like he talked about, Josh. He talked about. They both talked about it, especially Sonny. Like Sonny talked about it when he said the defense, we're able to like just react much better. Like his defense you would think is so like sophisticated, but Matt Patricia's such a drill sergeant and such a teacher. He was able to. I don't know how he said how he was able to like teach them how to do it, but he was able to like break it down to them where they not only fully understood.
Well, I think the big thing is we got people on the right. Like Sonny's finally found home, right? We got two linebackers that are like 6'4", 240 that run 4.5s and 4.4. Like we got freak athletes. They like both of them are like Urlacher, right? One's more
that was the point.
And one's more of a cover, but I mean, we just got the D line doesn't have like the Bosa or the big name guy yet. You know what I'm saying? But one of those guys are going to become one of those guys, right?
Hayden McDonald's playing probably the best.
Exactly, playing well, and then I just like how fast we are to the ball. Like, when the players stop, we got 12 people in the frame. That's one thing we used to always harp on.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing.
They tackling harder. They come. I mean, Caleb Downs is a missile. You know what I mean? So, and you got leadership between him and Sonny, and these veteran guys. The defense. The defense is the best. It's a defensive team right now. I mean, right now the offense destroyed some lesser teams, but until they do that to a good team, it's still a defensive team.
I mean, they could have destroyed Texas actually, but they chose to just keep it back because they're like, okay, we don't want to put too much on Satan's plate. Because when I go back, if you go back and look at that Texas game, they had so many opportunities where it's like, guys, give him a chance to just throw the ball. You have opportunities that are there. Like he did have one opportunity to Jeremiah Smith.
He also had opportunities to throw up because the DBs at Texas are really good. You know what I mean? So
there was a chance. He did have a chance to throw it to Jeremiah Smith, but he missed it because Jeremiah Smith was like 1-on-1 and he was blowing right past that defensive back. And it's like,
but even Jeremiah started off slow. He dropped more balls in the first two games than he dropped in his whole career.
Yeah, no, that's what he does. Actually, I noticed this. He's done this last year, and I'm like, why do you do that? What is it with you in the first two games that you dropped the ball?
Well, now he's back to being a damn monster. So,
well,
and then Tate is like.
Bro, Tate in the game against Texas caught a ridiculous ball. Yeah. He's been catching ridiculous balls.
He reminds me of our receiver in Washington.
Terry
McLaurin.
That super quick, like he's a great route runner. Tate is, Jeremiah is like Megatron. He's just
I think what Julian is saying is showing people is that like, and what he's shown in his coaches from like the Texas game to the gambling game to even the Ohio game and that GAG game, he kind of struggled a little bit of reads here and there that he missed, but he got better at it by the Washington game. And in this game against Minnesota, he's showing you he's got poise. I mean, the best throw he made, and Shaun, we talked about this, the best throw that man made, he got smoked and he threw it straight to Max Clare because pressure was coming right at him.
He's not a big quarterback, so normally you expect a smaller quarterback to be a runner. He's not a runner.
But
he actually can run. Like he has the athleticism to do so.
He's not a runner though.
Yeah, he ain't a runner.
Yeah, like he's not like Justin Fields. He's not like
with a gun.
CJ. Yeah, like it's like he's not Justin Fields. He's not CJ Stroud. Like CJ actually had the athletic ability to do so. Ryan Day was just not letting him because Ryan Day did not want him injured. He only would let him run.
No, CJ don't want to run. It's a mentality. You know what I mean?
He CJ Stroud actually said it. He asked Ryan Day to let him run more, and Ryan Day said no. Like he only let him run.
That's called runs, though. That's called runs. Like he's definitely not the quarterback where you call, but like when you drop back and scramble. That goes on your personality. Or do you have a desire to run, right?
And then when like CJ showed it against Northwestern, and then he showed
it at the end of the year because he started hearing them talk about it in the draft.
No,
it was like if you don't show the ability to run, we're gonna drop.
Well, actually, if you go back to CJ, if you go back to when CJ was a backup to Justin Fields, they never let him through. They just let him run all the time. Remember, Shaun? That run he did against Michigan State?
He scored like
He's an athlete because he was a hell of a basketball player. But he doesn't run in the NFL. It's just running.
Actually, he runs. He really picks his spots when he runs. Like he really does. And I think it's like how many years it's been drilled into him. And like I say, with Ryan Day, I think he's so protective about his quarterbacks to a point where like he's gonna let you run when he feels like it's necessary, but he doesn't want you getting hit. Because if you seen like what happened to
Ryan Day is like, I don't want you running unless you're a special runner, like Fields. These dudes can run.
Ryan Day did not want Fields.
But
Ryan Day did not want Fields running.
They're not going to break a run, so it's like, is it worth him getting smacked for 4 yards? You know what I mean?
You know what was super funny? Justin Fields said to him, he actually said this in an interview. Ryan Day did not want him to run, but he did it anyway because when he saw the opportunity, he was going to take it.
Exactly. If you're a runner, you're a runner. It's not about a coach telling you not to run. A coach cannot call runs. He cannot call zone read and run you to death like they did JT Barrett.
Yeah.
As far as running on the scramble, that's just either you got that or you don't.
He can do it. I think quarterbacks like him and CJ choose not to because I think they feel like we're not gonna run unless we have to, and they don't want to get smacked.
That's what I'm saying. It's your personality. You either innately want to run, or a lot of people like those guys want to scramble around, run to throw again.
Mm-hmm.
The other guys, when they tuck it down, they're running to run. They're not running to pull up before the line and throw it.
I think that, I will say this, because I have seen CJ do a little bit more of that because of how bad his offensive line has been, because he's like, okay, at this point, I can't stand behind this offensive line. I got to start running a little more. Like, I've seen it so many times in how many games he's played, and it's like...
He's athletic.
Well, he's not the biggest dude, though, either. You don't want to get him hurt.
He's 6'3", 218, 220 pounds. Somewhere around that is how... but he don't look it. He don't look it, though. He don't look it.
He's bigger than that. But listen, a lot of running, I told you, it's a mentality. Like Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a 4.7 guy. He ain't super. He wants to run you over. He wants to run. It's people that's faster than him. You would never know. They just don't. It's not in them to do that. You just want to have you. That's you. Once you out there, you can hit.
You know what I think?
Quarterbacks, they're not trying to get hit 20 times a game like a tailback, right?
That's what they're not. Yeah, they don't want to do that. So I don't I think with them, I think with quarterbacks like CJ and Julian, they're very valued because as long as you have the mobility, I think that's fine by a lot of teams because they still want quarterbacks that can pass in the pocket.
Right, you got to get it a good way.
I mean, that's still asked about now.
Like Howard last year, he's not fast, but he has the mentality. Right, he's physical and he's willing to run downhill and put his shoulder down and hit somebody. It's plenty of quarterbacks. Sane might be faster than him, but he's not going to do that. He's not. That's not his mentality.
Well, Sane's a great pocket passer.
And he has a rifle. That ball comes off his hand.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm still really impressed with how he was able to take that hit and still deliver that ball with accurate precision. That is the best throw I've seen by a quarterback this season. I ain't never seen a quarterback since CJ Stroud or Justin Fields or even Will Howard, because I've seen Will Howard do that at Kansas State. And Dwayne Haskins too. Like those guys delivered the ball no matter how much they got hit. And that was the best throw I've seen Julian Sane do. Like that's the best throw I've seen.
Yeah, that was good. Our line is really, really good though.
Yeah, I know. It was just that one time. It was just that one time.
They're playing better than I ever anticipated.
I'll tell you what, he stood right up and he took it. I mean, I give the kid all kinds of props, but you don't want him taking them shots, man.
No, you really don't.
That's the biggest dude, man. You do not want him taking those shots. I don't want Lincoln Keenholz in there. I'm sorry.
Actually, Lincoln, I don't look. I know you don't, Shaun, but I wouldn't mind it because here's the thing. I think he's a solid backup where he can win you the games. He's not going to crash the Ferrari. He has the body to handle the run game. On top of that, too, like I watched his passing. He's been improving as a passer. So as long as he's improving and he's competent enough where he can make the throws, not screw it up, and also be able to read the defense, if he can do all that, I'm okay with that. But I still don't want Sane getting hit because I think Sane's still a better quarterback than him.
Way better, my opinion.
Oh no, that's not a question. As a passer, for sure.
But I mean, that was just horrible. I mean, Sane can sneak and get the first down. We saw that when they brought Lincoln in and they called that timeout. Everybody in that stadium knew he was going to run the ball. I mean, that was just You had
Well,
momentum going. Why?
here's-
They got on him for not following the block.
Exactly.
Then he ran the same play again and he followed the block. But it's hard. You haven't been playing.
Yeah.
You come in with big money, you overexcited,
I actually
you
do think with
whatever. But I
Yeah.
think
I actually do think with
he runs
Kehoe's
pretty good. But again, his mentality. He got to the end zone. He ran through some people, lowered his shoulder. Like Sane's not doing that. Like I don't care how fast he is. He's he's not lowering his shoulder.
I mean, is he big enough to though?
No matter how big you are, it's a matter of your mentality. It's about a mentality.
Yeah, I guess, but I guess, that's true.
I mean,
but I guess when he comes down
with that type of concept.
Now, I will say this: when you think about it, it's like when he did that quarterback sneak. Because I was so surprised when Ohio State let him do that quarterback sneak, and I'm like, oh, you actually let him do it because
got 3 yards. I mean,
a sneak is. You usually don't get hit much. It's like falling on a pile. Like
but it's like with a guy like Will Howard. One of the reasons I love the sneak was his size because it's like it really does help. Like that's important in the sneak, and it's like the fact that they were able to do that with sand. I'm like, okay, show me more of that.
Good though. That line is really good.
It's a good line, but he's so small that he can kind of dart down under him, and no one's gonna see him right away. So I mean. Speaking of the mentality of a quarterback, I mean, you guys are from Chicago. Remember Jim McMahon? That dude had the mentality of running people over.
Yeah, he was more mentality than talent.
Exactly.
He was all mentality. Like he was just a willpower, tough guy. Just don't give a damn. Do whatever it takes type of guy.
What was bad is if he could have stayed healthy, they probably would have won 2 more Super Bowls. I mean, that's
what happens when you put your body in too much harm's way.
I got to respect.
That was a much more brutal time of football.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No doubt. But that is what happens.
1 to almost 2 steps after he threw it to murder the quarterback.
What's super funny in today's day and age too is like that still kind of happens, but it depends on what quarterback you are. Because I talk about this.
No, that don't happen. Not like
actually,
that.
no, because it actually does.
I saw yesterday he grabbed him and fell on his helmet, like hit him.
Actually, I would
a pink coat on him.
I would actually let me tell you this right now.
Hit him low back, you can come flying from behind and hit him in the back of the knees. They ain't give a damn what you did to the quarterback.
No, I know. No, I'm talking about it does depend on some quarterbacks because like Shaun, we talked about it. I've never told anybody this, but I would tell people go watch Justin in the NFL. Where how many times that man gets hit in the head. And they never throw the flag. They only thrown it once. His entire career, they've only thrown the flag once. That man gets hit in the head.
Well, when you're a running quarterback, they kind of treat you different. Like they didn't call it against Cam. They didn't if they consider you a quarterback that's going to run,
That's what they weren't doing with Lamar and Josh Allen for a while. It's like once they started becoming more pocket passers, and like they showed that's when they started throwing them flags. I think Justin's the same, but like. With how his teams are, he has to run for his life, and he has to run the football because he ain't got no choice, bro. Your offensive lines gotta work on their pass protection a lot. Like if y'all,
Justin has the same problem. Justin holds the ball too long.
No, he does. I'm not gonna lie. Now I will say that's something he needs to work on.
No man, that's what's holding his career back. He holds the ball.
I wonder why he does that. Because sometimes, I would say this during his time with the Chicago Bears, I can understand it because your receivers couldn't get open for nothing. And I'm not gonna lie, them receivers were trash. I'm not gonna lie, them receivers are awful. And like with Garrett Wilson, he's the only good receiver they have on the Jets. But I have seen that some of them have started trying to step up and make something happen. Where Justin got to keep looking Garrett's way. So at least you have the receivers over there trying. And I'm not gonna lie either. I do think with Justin, one of the things I've noticed of why he holds on to the ball is if he's not sure of what he's looking at. Like, if he's not confident in what he's looking at, sometimes he's going to overthink it and then just, try to make something happen when it shouldn't. It's like, dude, just throw the ball there. Like, it may not look good to you at first, but it's like, if you go back and watch the replay, you actually have a little window there. Just get it there.
That's
get it in that window. Yeah. Just get it in that little window. Like, you got a little window. If you could get that little window, you got it right there. Like, you got the arm. I watched you do it. Even in Chicago, when you had trash receivers, you were throwing them balls in the windows, and you get it. So, do that a little more.
Now, Winfield, what was it like being a Notre Dame fan and getting to play them? Did you have a little bit extra for that game when you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And everybody's at home was going to watch that game. Everybody that ever knew me, heard of me. Yeah, that was a huge game. And we beat them. Notre Dame has never beat us. I don't think they never beat Ohio State, period. And Lou Holtz was super popular back then. That was like a big game. That was like the Michigan game, but they were better than Michigan at that time. So those games were that was the crescendo game of the week.
Well, Pepe said how they screwed him over, and he had a little bit extra for him too because he wanted to go there, and they kind of screwed him. So he's like, I have best games.
Yeah, maybe I could have went to Notre Dame. They wanted me. They wanted me to play O-line. I didn't want to play O-line, but I never. I grew up. I liked Notre Dame growing up. I visited Michigan as a junior and went to their camp, and I just thought they were arrogant and pompous, and I was accurate.
When are they not? They still are.
And I never really, considered them again. So that's how that went. But
you know what's super funny? Do you know when was the last time they beat Ohio State?
Like the 40s?
1936. This was like 1936. That was the last time they beat Ohio State. And this was like before Lou Holtz was born, I believe.
That's why Lou Holtz hates on us so much.
Well, what's bad is he coached under Woody here. He should,
That's what's so. And you won a national title under Woody with your funny self. But that's gonna be so funny because again, their fan base is, and again with Michigan with scum here, they're still as arrogant and pompous. Because remember, Shaun, all the stupid stuff they used to say about certain players, like how they said Donovan Edwards was the next Barry Edwards or something like that.
Barry Sanders.
Yeah. Barry Sanders, thank you. Like he was the next Barry Sanders, or how that receiver they got from Indiana was gonna be the next Calvin Johnson, or Alex Orji. Or Alex Orji was going to be the next Cam Newton. Or even how they spoke about Bryce Underwood. And guess where he is right now?
Not doing so well.
Bro, he's the worst in the Big Ten.
Ooh. No. Now you tripping.
No, seriously, he is. Like, if you look at the quarterback rankings, if you look at the quarterback rankings, where they have it right there, he's dead last in the Big Ten. And I see if there ain't no way he did last. I can see if it was Nico. I can see if it was some of these other quarterbacks.
I don't know those rankings, but I don't know. He's pretty good. He's not turning the ball over. No,
like he's not turning the ball over. But it's a problem.
I'm worried about him.
If you watch his film, one of the things I've noticed is his passing is like short yards. He's good. Intermediate deep balls is where he's not good. I've noticed that. Even when he had a receiver open, he overthrew the heck out of that guy. And I'm like,
well, that one
they don't have good receivers.
No, they don't. But
the conference
the one time you have a receiver open, like this is the one time your receiver gets open and then you overthrow him.
I'm just gonna tell you, I don't want to be the one to predict. I think he is gonna be unbelievable. I'm not gonna predict.
That's gonna come back. Not at Michigan.
Right.
Not at Michigan. Like I think had he went to LSU, I think he would have been a great quarterback. You're in Michigan. You yourself said Michigan can't develop quarterbacks. And now you see why. Because they don't have the receivers. They don't have the coaching. Like, I've said it countless times on this show, and Shaun, you've heard me say this. It doesn't matter how talented you are. If you ain't got the proper coaching, it's not going to work out for you. You've seen countless talented players come in through college football, through the NFL, and you see how they work out when you put them in a bad situation. Or if you don't put them with the proper coach. You put them in a bad situation and you don't have the proper coaching on top of that, or you just don't have the proper coaching on a period, you're not going to succeed. You're not going to develop the way you should. I don't think he's going to develop in Michigan. I think if he goes to LSU, he going to develop. Because LSU got the coaching to have that man develop. They really do. I said it myself. I think he's talented. I think he's super talented. I said it myself. I said Bryce Underwood could be one of the next best quarterbacks in college football. But
so why do you think Michigan coaching is so bad?
Why do I think they're coaching him so bad? Yeah. I looked at first of all, I start with Chip Lindsey. I looked at his coaching record during his time, not even just his record, but I look at his pattern of coaching, and then I don't like what the pattern I see with quarterbacks under him. Even with Drake May, because some people try to say he developed Drake May. I'm like, no, he did not develop Drake May. He took over what was already there. And Drake May did have a bit of a regression year when he was the offensive coordinator. But Drake May was already developed. He was already made man. He had a little bit of regression. But outside of him, I looked at his quarterback track record. It ain't great. It's not good at all. So I'm like, okay, you got an offensive coordinator that when it comes to his quarterback track record, it ain't very good. That's for starters. Sherrone Moore, I don't believe in him as a head coach. I think he's more of a G5 level head coach who could potentially become a Power 4 coach, but not now. Like I don't think he's the perfect coach to be the head coach of your blue blood program. I don't think he is. I also look at the wide receivers coach, and you see how bad the wide receivers are, and I ain't got to tell you like what's wrong there. Like that the way the receivers play is bad enough. And then I look at their offensive line. I'm like, you guys used to have a really good offensive line when Jim Harbaugh was here. Now that he's gone, it's like your offensive line took a whole step back.
Well, I mean, now that they're able to throw all the money that they're throwing now, I mean, they're getting some 5-stars in. It's just going to be a year or two to see if they. We'll see. I mean,
but this is the thing: you can buy players, but Shaun, we've seen what happens.
Well,
when
I know,
but heavily.
But let's see if they can.
You obviously hate Michigan, but
no, this ain't just me for hating Michigan. But I'm saying
I'm not gonna go all that far. I think Bryce Underwood is gonna be unbelievable. I'm really worried about him in the future. They had a lot of drama. They had a lot of drama going on there. They got a little dip year, but they haven't been losing too bad. I mean, I think Michigan will be more of a problem we have to worry about next year. I just don't think we pretty much got to worry about them this year.
But
again, Michigan is if they want to continue to like really be up here with Ohio States and Alabamas, they have to get into recruiting where they're getting top 5 classes and top 10 classes, and they're not. So they're always going to have a lull. They're always going to need a spike player. They're always going to need a group to grow into being seniors compared to us where we just reload. Because
you have Texas A&M who wants to be like Bama and freaking Georgia during them years. Remember, Shaun? They got together the greatest recruiting class there ever was. What happened to that recruiting class, Shaun?
Yeah, but they left after a year. I mean, like I said,
that's the thing. Anybody can have a spike class.
Yeah.
That's not how you got to stack classes, right? We stack 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1.
Here's the other thing too.
Stack. That means when the 1 5-star sucks, guess what? Another one's coming right in.
Oh no, just that one class because they had the greatest recruiting class, and then they started using their money to buy more classes, and I'm like, have y'all learned?
Ole Miss has these spike classes. Mm-hmm. Texas A&M has these spike classes because they got money, right? And they were giving out money before the NIL.
I think that's all Michigan
spike classes, but the recruit you'll follow national championships follow recruiting, man. People just don't want to look at that. The teams that consistently have top 10 classes are the teams that's good. Period. It don't matter about
I will say this too, but it's also come down to your coaching because some of these kids have NFL dreams too. And you that's
how it always goes, talent is gonna get you 8, 9 wins, right? It's like Ohio State, let's be honest. You gotta coach 3 games a year, not before the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay. The talent is winning 9 games.
Yeah.
So now
coaching matters just
3 games, that's when it's coach against coach, right? That's when when you play Alabama or you play Clemson that's when it's coaching because now the talents are equating on each side. All those other wins, you can get a high school coach. I mean, we're that talented.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got class after class after class. We got dudes that transfer and go win Heisman's and transfer and go be all SEC. You know what I mean? So these other schools have spike classes or they have a senior class that took their lumps and grew together like you do in high school. But these upper echelon teams, they just keep stacking class. They can make mistakes because they got another replacement right behind them.
I think with Michigan as to why I don't think they're because one of the things I've noticed when I started watching their recruiting, I noticed this. It's like they only get spike classes and they haven't been able to consistently get top 10 classes. And then the question would become, well, why are you not doing that? What would be the biggest reason? But then I also have to look at it from this standpoint because when you look at a place like Bama, when they had their comeuppance, right? Because there was a time and place where they sucked. Like, what was it, Shaun? The early 2000s, the 90s?
The 90s, they had that one good year was
the late 90s, but they won
like the 90s.
Early 90s.
Yeah, so it was like the 90s to all the way to 2007. They were bad. And then all of a sudden they became this under Nick Saban. And that was Nick Saban's first year of 2007. And under Nick Saban, it's like he transformed that program overnight. And it was like, how did Nick Saban do that? Will always be the question. Like people
recruiting.
Yeah, no, that's the biggest part of it.
I think he did that LSU before he hired.
But also, Yeah,
Culture.
but that's the other thing too, is culture. Like, he built a culture, but he also got the perfect set of coaches. Because one of the things we talked about was his coaching hires, who he hired to help him develop his talent. Because even he understood, I can recruit as well as I can. I can build this big culture, but I can recruit as many great players as I want. But these guys still got to get developed because there's things they don't know that they need to get better at, that they need to become at this absolute level. Yes, they are 5 stars. Yes, they're these absolute great players. But they need to be developed. They need to get this. They need to be developed not only as players, but as men, like on and off the field. So I got to create a culture while also bringing in the best set of coaches I know that can build these young men up, turn them from these young high school kids into grown men. And that was one of the biggest things I loved about Saban, because he himself had said it. Doesn't matter how many top tier guys you recruit, you need to build a culture. You need to build something that makes these kids want to come here. What about your program makes these kids want to come to your program? Not just money. You got to have a culture. You have to have everything in place. You have to have like success.
Money will get them there, but you're right. It's culture.
You have to have success.
Once
You have to have success
culture,
at the highest level.
Standard, right? So when you go to Alabama, every kid that goes to Alabama thinks he's about to win a national championship, right?
Not only a national title, they think they're finna go to the NFL. Because look at what.
Yeah, well, everybody that goes to Ohio State think they're going to the NFL, but it wasn't. We all thought we were going to the NFL, but we didn't just feel like, oh, as soon as I step foot in the door, I'm winning the national championship.
Yeah, no, that was the thing, though, because they made it this thing. Like, their whole thing was, we're going to, like, the way Ohio State has built their brand under, like, Tressel and under Urban is, we can win a national championship with step in here. Even under Ryan Day, that's the same mentality. Like, we can win a national title.
Yeah.
The years with, like, I go back to Urban and Tressel years, and I say to myself, you know, if this team did not shoot themselves in the foot as many times as they did, we could have went on a Bama-like run and won like 6, 7, maybe 8 national titles. Because, Shaun, we had so many chances.
You could say that about the Cooper years, too. Cooper.
Oh, no. That's the point, though. Like, we shot ourselves in the foot so many times, but we always had chances to win.
Urban was going to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, no. There was no doubt about that. But, and that's the other thing, too. Like, the other thing is how Ohio State and how Bama, mainly how their cultures reincited, is when you step in here, you can win a national title. You can go to the NFL. But it takes more than just having talent. You got to have these things.
Yeah, you got to have a lot of that. I mean, Dabo did it with Clemson. Nobody cared about Clemson.
Oh, yeah. And then he fell off a cliff after all these years, and look at what Clemson is now.
I mean,
he did have a heck of a run, though. I mean, I'll give
he had a heck of a run, but it's like, you got to make fun of him.
We're talking about what, last year, this year? Dabo fell off because of his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no doubt. That's the other thing, though. You need to be a coach.
So that's what he bit. You know,
that's the problem.
Yeah, his mouth is what because that's the only thing he said.
That's the problem.
That kids wouldn't look past.
That's the problem.
Retract those statements.
That's the other problem, though, because that's why I think.
Thank God he said it, because Dabo's a problem.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. No, that's the point.
Now, though, people aren't going to be able to stack the kids like they used to, because with the transfer portal, a lot of these kids, if they're not playing in the year,
waiting.
Some of them are waiting. Now it depends on your culture.
Vanderbilt. I mean, it's more parity, man. It's the way it is.
I mean, like Ohio State. I would say a place like Ohio State, like before Nick Saban retired, I think he could do that because of the culture he had built. But if you look at what Ohio State did with their culture, we ain't got that many guys leaving. Like, the only time that you see guys leave is when Ohio State tells them, guys, you're not going to play, so you need to find somewhere else to go. And you know what? They would help you leave.
Well, the thing is, like, before, if you left, you had to sit out a year. And so,
that's the point.
They were screwed. So, I mean, kids don't want to wait another year. I mean, that's just.
Yeah, no, they got rid of that now. They got rid of that now.
Guys transferring now. That's just what it is. I mean,
I'm not worried about it with Ohio State as much, because I know for a fact they're going to.
No, you don't have to worry about it with us, because we stealing other people's best players. I mean,
no, not only that, but it's like we have the culture here, because we didn't have like Shaun, we didn't have any players from scholarship leave in the portal. Like, the only guys that left were guys like that weren't going to see the field, that were like walk-ons, because we weren't sure about the walk-ons.
You had
I mean, I know Calvin Sisson. I'm talking about in like the secondary portal, like the December portal. We did have scholarship players leave, but it wasn't many. It was mainly guys that weren't going to see the field at the utmost.
Why
that's why most players leave. That's why most players leave because they ain't gonna see the field.
Yeah.
Well, that was the point, though. They were told by Ohio State, and Ohio State helped them get somewhere because Ohio State is completely honest with their players. Like, that's another thing as to why everybody loves going to Ohio
All
State.
these schools are honest with their players. They too honest. This is a dirty game. I mean, listen, college football, I love players getting paid, but it's dirty. Like now,
Oh, no doubt.
I'm gonna tell you something I think is tragic. So you get these kids to come in the winter, and you cut them before the season.
Yeah.
They getting kids to come early, and then cut them. So now kids gonna be horrified to come early because they treating it like mini camp.
Yeah, in a way, I'm not gonna lie. And honestly, when you look at the new,
you get a kid to graduate early, you bring them down, and you cut them at the fall. So I mean, it's dirty pool going on too.
It is,
It's
but
a
I do think
pool
I think
going on.
Ohio State. Well, I will say, from what I've seen of them, is they will give these kids a chance to show if they can get on the field or not. Like they'll give them a chance, but if you show you can't, they're gonna have you leave. Like now, they're not gonna do it to the
All
freshman
schools
right
do
away.
that though. They all say, "Listen, son, I don't think you're gonna play here. I'm not telling you got to leave, but
yeah.
hey,
Well, some do.
playing.
Some do.
Well,
though. Some do.
Ohio
You
State.
ain't playing.
Again, Ohio State
So, I
tells
mean,
them straight up. No, Ohio State be telling them like straight up, and that's
we're not doing nothing different than anybody else. Is what I'm trying to tell you. They all.
no. What
tell
I'm
you
saying
ain't
is,
playing. Some of them more cutthroat. We might be nicer about it, but they all tell you ain't playing. You might as well
it's
leave.
like honestly, when you listen to the Ohio State players that did leave, that's the biggest thing they talk about is how transparent Ohio State is because they don't make. No, I'm not saying now, Shaun. I'm not saying that's not all Ohio State players.
I'm saying transparency is not a problem anymore. It's they telling you they want you to leave. Like,
yeah, there is that. Yeah, and not only that, but also Ohio State. The one thing I will say they don't do is they don't lie to these kids about how much money they're gonna pay them. Because what is the biggest thing they say about why they don't pay as many kids as they like? When you have these kids that are like trying to make this much money,
yeah, we don't pay the most because they say you got an opportunity. Because
like you got an opportunity and you got to earn it because they got a whole bunch of guys on this roster that deserve it more than you do. But you do have these schools like USC, Michigan, and all them that be making up this amount. And it's like some of these players, they never really deliver. Like a lot of these schools never deliver on how much they say they're going to pay you. They never. And that's another thing as to what I like about Ohio State is that level of transparency because they don't lie to these kids straight up. Like they will tell them straight up, honestly, we're not going to pay you this amount of money. We'll probably upgrade it, but we're not going to pay you like as much as we're paying our starters. We're not going to pay you as much as we're doing this. We're not going to do that. They are completely honest. And even the families tell you how much they love it too. Like what Ohio State's family atmosphere, how transparent they are with them, how transparent they are with their kids, how like they're honestly being honest. And that's why a lot of parents and a lot of these kids love Ohio State because it's like, it's not just the fact you're being transparent about the transfer portal. You're being transparent about everything. Like you really are, and you're even giving them a chance to earn.
They definitely don't pay the most. They definitely, You want to be
no matter what nobody says.
You want to be a Laker, you want to be a Cowboy. You know what I mean? That's how it is. Like you know what this is. So that's true.
That's the biggest thing why I say about Ohio State about their transparency and why they're seen as the most honest because they don't lie to these kids straight up. Like, and look, they'll give them a chance, and if they feel like they can't make it, they'll let them leave, and it'll be like, listen, they're gonna be honest with the parents. Honest with the kids, but they're also gonna be honest about them when it comes to the money side of things as well, because they are not that type of program. They don't want to be that. They don't want to ruin their reputation and make it seem like they're one of those programs that lie so much. I mean, remember, Shaun, we talked about it. There are some kids that Ohio State missed out on that are not sure about the money they might be getting from some of these other schools. We're not going to name names, obviously, but they're not sure. Yeah, it's like a couple because they're like these programs have done it before where they've lied. Now we're willing to give them a chance, but still, it's like.
Well, I mean, if you look though, I mean, Winfield could say it better than I could. A lot of those coaches lie to kids. I mean, it's just
they do.
It's always been. I mean, they're always, telling these kids they're the next great thing. They're used to hearing that. Come here, they get promised a lot of stuff that they don't always deliver on. Or
and that's the other thing
that they're going to be there the whole time that they're going to be there, and they get another job offer and they bail on these kids. So I mean.
That'd be the funniest thing is for Ohio State. That's the other thing about them. Their coaches are also blatantly honest. The coaches are.
I mean, I just said as far as telling kids to leave, and all coaches are honest about that these days. But I do believe Ohio State is more transparent and not trying to get over on kids as far as the money and the NIL deals and because I know some kids that were 4 and 5 stars and they had that Ohio State offer was definitely lower than some of the other schools you named.
Yeah.
Because of that. So, you got to make that choice. Now, they pay who they want to pay. but they definitely don't lead with that as much as some of the other, brand name schools.
They leave that for the final discussion. It's like the final part of recruiting is listen, we'll talk about the NIL, but after we do these things. All right. After that, we'll talk about the NIL. But until then, we're not talking about it.
Winfield, you've been here almost an hour with us, and we appreciate it. Before we get you to go, I want to get your prediction, but after that, is there any businesses or anything you want to plug? I mean, are you doing anything like you want to promote? You're more than welcome to if you got a business or.
I own a company called Jet Fuel Medical. We put sensors and monitors in facilities all around the country, a lot in schools now. We've been kind of low on the radar right now, but it's been going really, really well. So we advertise as jetfuelsafety.com. If you look it up, jetfuelsafety.com, we're in a lot of schools around the country right now. Just monitoring stuff. We can tell if your son's been vaping in the bathroom and all type of good things for him, school safety, air quality, and things of that. I have a son who's a quarterback. He's at Westerville North, freshman playing varsity. So look forward to going to his games. And he had 3 D1 scholarships in 8th grade. So hopefully,
Nice.
another younger son who's 6'4", 230 in 7th grade. So
Wow.
he's gonna dwarf me one day. So just look for the Garnett boys to be coming on you Ohio State guys' radar here. Actually, my youngest son visited Ohio State last year as an 8th grader, but he hasn't been doing business this year. Just trying to focus and play varsity and get ready, for a big year next year. So that's about it. But I enjoyed having the time with you guys, and it was a great, great, great talk.
Can we get a prediction for this Saturday? I know you see Illinois a lot because you're there. So what from there.
Illinois' coach is doing an excellent, unbelievable job. I don't take them lightly, but I think we're going to beat them by 14 because of our defense. They're going to have struggle scoring on us, but they're definitely on the listen. Illinois, Indiana, their coaches are doing an unbelievable job.
And who would have thought with Indiana?
And I don't think the Indiana coach is going to be there long. I mean, that guy.
Actually, I can see.
He's
I can see,
but I kind of like it.
Let me tell you something. I think
Google me, you know what I mean. But
I think there's a chance he could stay because I think Indiana look at this like, wait a minute, we got our football program relevant. Let's pay him. We gotta pay him.
They don't have the money. And one thing, I don't care what happens in Indiana. That's a basketball school.
True. True. But hey, when you're telling me that you got a basketball school that actually because they did put some money into football last year and this year.
But I think he's gonna get like a big brand name, blue. Like that guy's really, really good. And somebody, you know what I mean? When you go to these basketball schools, Kentucky's and Indiana's and UCLA, I don't care. When the football team is great, they like great.
Is it basketball season yet?
I think
you muted yourself.
Even though I will say I do think Indiana took advantage of the chance to try to make their football program better, and it's like you got Indiana fans coming around now, and they're like,
they got a beautiful stadium. You muted yourself there, Winfield.
You did. You muted yourself.
We can't hear you.
I said,
oh, there you go. Now you muted it again.
I keep doing that.
Okay. No.
I said at a basketball school. They want football. It brings the most money in, but you're never going to be the darling at a true basketball school. Like they're going to pat you on the back and say you're great. But if you had, Kentucky, UCLA, Duke, you're not. You know what I mean? It's like Ohio State basketball. They'll never be Ohio State football. I don't care how good they are in basketball.
Hey, look, Ohio State here's the funny thing. Ohio State don't just want to be a football school, they want to be a sports school, but they know football is king. So they're going to put as much money into football as much as possible to support the other teams. Like, I love the men's basketball team and the women's basketball team. Bro, they are I love them.
It's not. I think Michigan might be one of the schools that has more comparable love for both sports. Mm-hmm. But most schools, it's either it's A and it's B, and it's a clear A and a clear B. Most schools.
Look at North Carolina basketball. I mean, it is. They had Lawrence Taylor go there as one of the greatest linebacker of all time and play football there. And you don't hear anything about it. You know, they should build a statue for the guy.
But as far as the game, I think Illinois. I think they're gonna give us a fight, but I think we'll wear them down in the second half and make a clear cut 2-touchdown victory for sure.
Now,
You
I
wanna know?
want to get your opinion real quick. Sorry, TG. I've heard from other players that place isn't a good place to play. It's just the atmosphere kind of sucks. It's just because
I didn't play at Champaign, but I mean I've been there millions of times, and it's a new stadium.
okay.
They're not known for having the greatest fanfare, but they might be super excited because they never had this type of team,
In a
consistent
long time.
where they see it's on the upward path. And what are they ranked in the top 10 or something like?
Top
They
20.
they fell
Right.
down since
Close.
they were top 10 until they got smoked by Indiana.
Yeah. So, but anytime we come to town, that's like LeBron come to town or the Lakers. Like it's gonna be whatever they got, they're gonna give it to us.
That's everybody's Super
Whatever
Bowl.
they
So.
got, they're gonna give it to us.
Where there's Super Bowl, like where everybody.
Illinois is a basketball school.
Where everybody's Super Bowl. I mean, that's just truthful.
Absolutely.
And you want to know, like, a funny thing is, this is Ryan Day and this team's first time playing and/or coaching in Champaign, Illinois. This is their first time ever going to that stadium.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, we were supposed to go back in like 2020, but because of COVID, they had to cancel the game, especially because of our players being like, we had too many players that attracted
And the
COVID,
weather,
so.
global warming is not going to be cold.
Yeah.
It's going to be a warm game, but I don't think they got enough. I know they don't have enough. I think they'll give a good fight in the first half, and then we'll mud stomp them.
Well, thanks again, man. I appreciate it. It was a pleasure talking to you, man. I still think 96 defense is still the best of all time until maybe this year. But, hey, man, you guys are still my favorite team.
I appreciate it.
Growing up, man.
You guys, and thanks for inviting me on.
And hopefully we can have you on again and, keep me informed how your sons are doing.
I will.
Appreciate it, man.
All right.
Thanks. And, everybody, make sure go check out that Patreon page while you at it, too.
Thanks again, Winfield. Appreciate you, man.
All right.